Hey, English 10, Mr. Macy here. Hope you guys are doing well. Coming in with some information very specific to English 10. Putting this up in a video at the beginning here so that it's something that you can come back to anytime, and just introduction to the class. Like I said before, great to have you along. Let's get rolling. So you're on your ScoreG page here. If you want to get into specifically the English 10 class hit courses, you should find English Language Arts 10 somewhere in here. And really the purpose here is to go over some stuff about what's coming up in this class. Remember, on the right hand side you got your calendar here. This is a great tool to use to keep yourself organized. You can see already we got due dates coming up. You can see the well, first couple of things, we got some office hours on August 20th, first day of school, 3 p.m. If you want to stop by with that, you'll hit this Blackboard Collaborate here, and that will dial you into a direct connection with me. Love to see you and get to know you. First quiz, it's simple. It's over the syllabus, and also a survey for us to get to know each other better. That's due Wednesday, coming up soon here. If you join the class late, do that whenever you can, within the next couple days of joining the course. You can see Thursday the 23rd we have some office hours. First assignments, those are due on Tuesday the 28th. Remember, these items due that first week. You want to spread them out. Don't save them all until the last day before they're due. Looking ahead to the next week, got some more assignments due on the 4th, and then our first big essay, the Dreams essay, is due on Saturday the 8th. I gave you a couple extra days on that so that you can have some time to connect with me later that week to wrap things up. Alright, anyway, getting into the class itself. Let's look a little bit at the information specific to this course. Teacher contact info. Again, best way to get a hold of me, direct message on ScoreG. You'll go up here, hit this little envelope. You can hit new message and send it right to me. I think that'll be the best way to get in touch with each other. Syllabus. Here's our focus here in this video. Intro video, that's how you got to what we're watching here. Course overview. Okay, let's look at what we're doing this year. We start out with the Dreams essay. I think this is kind of a cool way to kick it off. What are your goals? Another way for us to get to know each other better. We then get into a short fiction study. Spend a few weeks on that. After that, a few weeks on the classic play, A Raisin in the Sun. Looking forward to that. I think you're going to like it. This is the first text that you need to get a hold of. You can get one at the library, you can get it at the bookstore. I've been doing a lot of digital reading. You can do it on a Kindle, you can do it on the there's a Kindle app that you can put on your computer. That's kind of a quick, easy way to download and read the text. The other good thing about the Kindle or using the Kindle app on your phone or something like that, a lot of classic texts are free on there. You can download them for free. I know A Raisin in the Sun is one that you have to buy for that, but that's an option if you want to. We then get into contemporary essays. We'll spend a few weeks on that in October and November. After that, novel of choice. This is kind of cool. I'll give you a list of novels and you can choose the one that you want. So that may be a good thing to look ahead. I'll show you where that list is in a minute and think about, hey, which one of these do I want to track down and use? Next, investigative report. Looking ahead to some careers. Kind of thinking about, hey, what might I want to do when I get older? Later on, looking at some persuasive writing. We're now into the spring semester. After that, getting into a little Midsummer Night's Dream, a little bit of Shakespeare. Finishing up with writing in some standard business formats, and then finally, end of the year, again this is a long way in the future, Steinbeck, John Steinbeck, one of my favorite authors. I think you'll like him as well. So that's kind of the year at a glance. Lots of good stuff going on. Keep rolling through materials. My expectation is that you read this entire syllabus on your own, but I just want to highlight a couple of things. Again, copy of A Raisin in the Sun. Start thinking about that soon here. Okay? Again, could be a bookstore, could be an electronic copy, your choice. And then choice novels. Here are your choices. Please take a look at these. Think about which one you might want to do. If you're curious, if you haven't heard of one of these, just type it into Google and you'll definitely learn a bit about those. I can tell you the Hot Zone, that was one of my favorites. I think I read that in 9th or 10th grade, and it stuck with me. Definitely a good one. Let's see, some notes here on software. A lot of this class will be done through ScoreG, but you definitely also need to have word processing program, web browser, functional email. Again, probably the best way to contact me, though, just direct message right through ScoreG. That's probably how I'll get in touch with you as well. Alright, real quick, some expectations. Usually the classes, or the weeks, if you will, typically run Wednesday through Tuesday. So we'll start a new week on Wednesday. Due date is usually at the end of the day on Tuesday. We're looking at approximately 5 to 7 hours of work during the week. And the best way to track your due dates is on the calendar. Also, office hours, as I told you before, those will be posted on the calendar, and you can hit this Blackboard Collaborate link right here during those office hours to get in touch with me. A little bit more course expectations, live sessions. Please make sure you attend those, or if not, make sure you view the recording of the session. You'll see how to get those. Alright, here's something we definitely need to go over. Late work policy. Please be sure to read this in detail. What it comes down to is late assignments may be turned in for up to 75% credit, but only during the current unit. So you'll see the class is organized into units. If we've finished Unit 2 and we're on to Unit 3, you can't turn in Unit 2 stuff anymore. Okay, so please pay attention to that. Attendance policy. You got to log into ScoreG every day. Okay, that's what I'll be checking. Make sure you read those details. Let's see, assessment. Okay, how does the grading work? Standard grading scale. Grading for this class, your assignments are broken into 2 different categories. Tasks, those are kind of the smaller assignments. Those are really important because that's how you practice for and learn about the bigger assignments, which I call summative assessments. A summative assessment is something like a quiz, a test, a big paper. I want you to focus on those because that's where you really get a chance to show your learning. You're not going to be able to do well, I guarantee, on the summative assessments if you don't work hard on the tasks leading up to them. Okay, if you have any questions about how that works, let me know, and also check in your gradebook. Check in the gradebook on ScoreG and also in Campus. That's where the official gradebook will be held, the Jeffco Campus system. Okay, discussion boards. This is kind of, guys, if you imagine your regular class during school where you're chatting back and forth and discussing the novel, discussing the text, whatever, this is where we do it. It's on the discussion board. So you'll see those on the calendar. You'll see them in the assignments. If you look at the discussion board rubric here, you can see that to get full points on this, you need to post a few times throughout the week. Okay, that's the key to the discussion. You can't just come in on the last day it's due and try to nail everything right then. You need to post a few times throughout the week, and you got typically one initial post and then at least a couple responses to other students. You can see the timeline goes throughout the week, and they should all be thoughtful and with good understanding. So if you want full credit on that, it's got to go throughout the week. This is the typical discussion board rubric that we'll usually use. Okay, a little bit about Netiquette. In other words, what's the proper etiquette for our discussions, for things online? Please make sure that you read this. And guys, what it comes down to is what we do here on ScoreG. It may, it looks like Facebook. It's a similar setup, but this is a professional forum. So what I expect is things like complete sentences, proper introductions. It's not your typical kind of Facebook text messaging language on here. Okay, please keep that in mind. Notes on plagiarism. Guys, this is something that I am very strict on. If it looks like you've just taken something online and pasted it right in there, believe me, I'll be checking for that, and you're going to be hit hard for it. Okay? If you have any questions about things, let me know. Please. Some steps to problems and getting help. Guys, the ScoreG program I think works a lot better. Hopefully there won't be as many problems. Most of it's web-based and fairly smooth. Alright, I think that's about it for now. Please keep in mind these guidelines. Please shoot me a message on ScoreG whenever you need to. Real quick, here's some basics of point evidence analysis. This is kind of the format that we're really going to be focusing on in discussion board postings and your essays. I think this is just a good way to write in general. If you make a point, if you support it with some evidence, and then provide some analysis, generally that is good writing. Wrap it up again. Let's go back real quick to the calendar. Things to keep in mind coming up here. Office hours. We got first day of school, 3 p.m. Syllabus, quiz, and survey. That's the first thing to start knocking out. We also have a cyber cafe discussion going on during this first week, kind of a way to get to know each other, get to know the students in class, get to know me. Please make sure you're active on that. And then the first couple assignments here, the You've Got Style, the writing territories, and then getting into the Dreams essay turned in as well. Alright guys, thank you for dialing in, and looking forward to having you along.